Ooh. So over the past week, we had the several day testimony of Michael Cohen, who was Trump's former lawyer, and there were people who posted a hashtag. I think it was believe Cohen or something to that effect. But during this testimony to the House, he spoke multiple times of his relationship with Trump and his dealings with Trump and yada yada yada. And to no one's surprise, people who don't like Trump believed him, and people who do like Trump don't believe him. But whether you believe him or not, I think what the hearing demonstrated and kind of proved was that there's this weird sort of aura that surrounds a lot of the people who burn bridges with Trump, where suddenly they become heroes or good guys by virtue of taking a stand against that person. I brought this up with the FBI. FBI, if you look at its history up until 2 years ago, everybody hated it for what it did to Black Panthers, to Martin Luther King. We can go down the list, but the point is, it was a group that had no actual rabid fan base among what could be considered non-political individuals. So, for example, if you're a politician, you'll say, "I respect the agency of the FBI because you want." I don't know why you're still a moderator, Raw Vulture. That's strange. Take that off. I don't know how that happened. That was the biggest blooper in the world. And that's why you came so early. You're like, "Oh, I get to show off my skill." That was your whole reason for returning. But no, going back to what I was saying, you had this whole system where the FBI was despised, and then suddenly, when the leader Comey pretends to now be against them. Hold on a second. Hello. Yeah. Bye. Yeah, they interrupted our special broadcast. They always do that where you can just sit here and not record anything, and then all of a sudden it just someone comes. Can I ask you a question? Now I have to rebel since Mod was taken unjustly. All right, we'll put it back, but I don't want any um, buffoonery to occur. No one else has commented yet, so that's probably the reason you're able to tread lightly. We're going to give you a test run. It was taken unjustly. It was given unjustly. I don't know how that happened. I think YouTube is trolling me. They just installed you as the moderator. They picked your name out of a hat. They said we're gonna make Vulture have his day in the sun, his time to shine. But go back to what I was saying. So the FBI director Comey was able to get this weird sort of support from regular people because anti-Trump, and then the same thing with pretty much any other person or group. Look at Pelosi. This is someone who had a 29% approval rating when she first became speaker for good reason, but we can get into that later. And then suddenly, she's taking a stand against Trump, and her approval rating goes into the 40s. And I almost want to tear my hair out because these are people who are literally saying, "Hey, screw the fact that you literally accomplished nothing in 30 years of being in office other than passing a right-wing healthcare plan that's only selling point is that it's not as horrible as what we had before. Now you're a good person because you're anti-Trump. High five. Good job." And it's the same thing with Cohen. When this guy was Trump's lawyer and was doing all manners of evil according to liberals, they hated him. And now all of a sudden that he is speaking out against him, it's time to make him some kind of martyr for the cause. Are you? Yeah, Rod, stop messing with me. You didn't hear anything about Cohen all of last week when he was sitting up in front of Congress for hours. I think you're messing with me. Stop playing. This isn't exactly a new person. He's been around for a while. Trump's lawyer, former lawyer, the lawyer he had before. I want to get famous off of 9/11. No, I want to get famous for happening to be in office during 9/11. Giuliani. What does Kimmel have to do with anything? I'm a little confused, bro. Vulture. You're gonna have to elaborate on that. Your rationale for including him. Ah, now it's all coming back to you. Like I said, you have this entire group of people who despise Trump. So anytime somebody comes out and says something that's against him, you're part of the crowd. You're part of the group. And I really did disassociate from a lot of them that do that because they have this thing where they can't seem to ever figure out that these people, because they burn bridges with someone, it's like the enemy of my enemy is not always my friend. Basically, the only person I haven't seen them do this in mass with was Sessions. Everybody else they let get away. They let suddenly become redeemed because they resigned or they quit. Just like with Mattis. Mattis was the only member of Trump's cabinet I liked the entire time they were there. You know, that did never appear to be anything else than what I thought them to be. But when he resigned, all of a sudden he became this person that a lot of these, I don't know what you would call them, the resistance group on social media suddenly liked. And they started liking him for the dumb reason because he resigned for a dumb reason. If he were going to, if he resigned or if he was going to resign, it should have been for Trump pulling out of the Iran deal or not doing anything about climate change, both of which are ideas that Mattis floated around as having disagreements with Trump on. Instead, it's, hey, you want to get out of one of our 7 wars? I'm out of here. Yeah, I don't want any conspiracy theorist moderators. So please cease with that. Cease and desist. I'll put a little black cap on and just keep saying that. It must be really, it's funny having that kind of power and then no one to use it on. Because the other 2 people won't comment. They're like, he's not yanking me. I'm not losing my privileges that I will not exercise. But going back to what I was saying, you had this group of people suddenly latch on to him, and now they're doing the same thing to Cohen. I don't know where they are. Envoy and Dirk just completely disappear. Dirk disappeared for probably a solid 2 or 3 weeks. Like, what the hell happened to him? Because he was always there. I was always excited to see him. It was so wonderful, and he just vanished like Jimmy Hoffa. Envoy is probably usually if you do it in the early afternoon, he's probably more likely to be there. Maybe he's working or doing something. You're never excited to see me. It's because you said a lot of mean and hurtful things, and we your crimes against me will be revealed to the masses soon. The other 2 people in here will be aware of what atrocities you've committed. Now you can pretend you don't know, but we all know. I actually have a stack of papers right here off screen that is it has some really, it has the record of your offenses on here. Let's put it that way. So you can keep pretending you're not aware, but we have you. Bro, Vulture, we've got you. I don't want to reveal it. We're going to reveal it when we're not talking about Cohen. If you want me to reveal it, you should leave a comment saying, please reveal it. Or can you reveal it in a separate video? Because it's not the topic or discussion we're currently having. So going back to what I was saying, you have an entire group of people who take whatever person is bad or that was considered bad, and then when they have a fallout with Trump, poor baby, come on, you're friends with me, yeah. And it was really funny because I had a person who I was talking to that had mentioned noticing this pattern, and it was kind of a thing of us just saying, hey, how is this ever going to change if throughout, we're now halfway through his term, or at least his first term, whichever way you want to refer to it, but we're 2 years into his tenure. That's indisputable. How many more people are going to come out and say something that is considered anti him, and then they previously had some record that was crappy because it was pro him, and now all of a sudden we're going to like them, just like with Coulter, where she said something about Trump, which was I think it was related to Kushner, and then he made a comment back at her, or he stopped speaking to her, and all these liberals start going, she's one of us now. No, that's the person who disagreed with him one time, and now you're trying to, become friendly with. So the pattern of behavior doesn't seem to cease, and the cycle is never ending. I think the only way we're ever going to get a conclusion to this is when people, any of the people that they basically see as being anti-Trump, do something that is so overwhelmingly revealing of them not being their friends. Like how I used to have a lot of people I'd argue back and forth with on social media because they would try to tell me the Democrats are the heroes and blah 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 blah. That little party loyalist crap. But then when Manchin voted for Kavanaugh, I heard some of them going, "Oh my God, how could he do this? When?" And it's always one of those things where you try to explain to these people, just because someone has a D or an R next to their name doesn't mean they're good or bad. It depends on what they do in office. And only then did I start to see some of them slightly showing a vague amount of a belief in that position. But even then, it's still, they go right back to bootlicking for one party again. So it's just them refusing to accept any new information. And I like to believe that oftentimes I'll take whatever is presented to me that is factual. So, for example, I oftentimes would say the Democrats better than Republicans, and I would be made aware of what they did as well. I said, well, damn. I mean, I'm not about to join the GOP, but the Democrats certainly are not, my kind of alternative. So it was just this thing of, they try to fearmonger you into saying, well, if you don't like these people who don't like him, that must mean you like him, which is not true. And I've mentioned they did the same thing to Jennifer, where she criticizes Trump for bombing Yemen, and then suddenly they go and say, oh, okay, you're one of us. But then if she says, no, Obama started this, you should hate him too, they accuse her of being a Trump drone or being someone that is on his side, going and trying to destroy the legacy of their favorite president. Were they mostly girls? What do you mean by that, abroad? I didn't look at I didn't put up a poll and ask people what's in between your legs. Hey, could you imagine that poll? 60% penis, 40% vagina. I didn't think of doing that. That wasn't in my top criteria. I know you love that blue wrench. They get you excited. The people who you talk to who are Democrats and wouldn't change their mind. I still couldn't give an accurate estimate, and a lot of times it's not me speaking to them, it's me going on places like Twitter or Facebook where they have these publicly available channels and not channels but accounts, and you can go on there and read their comments, read what they have to say to each other. A lot of times I go on there without leaving the comment to go and see what these people are saying and what they're trying to get at. Because again, when you talk to them, especially when it's that back and forth thing, it gets too obnoxious. And a lot of times I don't want to deal with them because they're not attempting to really get what I'm trying to say. So if I go, hey, I get that you don't like Trump, but here's the problem with Cohen, they don't want to hear it. They just go, no, he's a good guy now because he's telling us about all the evil things that this man has done over the last decade or so, ever since he's been his lawyer. So just hush. Critical thinking, man, it's a thing of the past. Actually applying reasonable thought to politics is just a non-starter. It's dead. It's defunct. I mean, they have no interest in doing any of that. So because we have had everyone that isn't a moderator leave, I'm going to end the stream here. Maybe I'll do another one tonight. I don't know. It's just I had trouble thinking of a topic, so I just kind of had to, rattle off the top of my head. It's okay. Yeah, I know you're saying that ever since you became a moderator again, you've been spawning a lot. Well, if I don't understand why I would talk about them if they don't even actually. Again, that relationship stuff gets really tiresome after a while. Like he got turned down, now he's upset. He got turned down, now he's upset. I just didn't know I could keep speaking about that and actually making it not seem redundant. So let me I'll probably do something else tonight. Thank you for watching.